Right guys, this is going to be a 100k Nightfall solo on the Titan. For those that just want to see the run, then skip to time on the screen. For the rest of you, I can show you my subclass, weapons and all of that. So first of all, as you saw from the title, the idea of this 100k solo is to obtain that score while defeating all 9 champions throughout the Nightfall without any artifact mods. Or Izanagi's Burden, since Izanagi's Burden is like the highest burst damage weapon in the game, so I'm excluding that as well. Okay. The mods I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the loader perks, okay, that's just whatever. The perks I'm talking about are the ones that assist us with the champions, so anti-barrier rounds, overload bows, overload nades, oppressive darkness, all these mods that help us out with all that. We're saying we can't use them. Now you can defeat all the champions with all 3 subclasses solo, completing them all. They just have their own different ways. Hunter can definitely do it, tried it out with different things. Warlock I haven't had a go with, but I imagine there's a way to do it. And I'm not talking about using these Anagis or anything. There will be a way of doing it. And I'm not talking about Oppressive Darkness either. As far as our subclass choice on the Titan, we use Sunbreaker top tree, so that's the melting point, armor strike build, with fusion grenade and a tower and barricade. We paired all that with the Greeves, the exotic boots for the Titan. So for those that don't know what this does, basically when you're airborne and you shoulder charge a target, it does bonus damage, or a lot more than what it usually would. I don't have the numbers to hand, but just know that it's a lot more than usual. Okay. As far as our weapons go, we had a scout rifle on for long range, Telesto for void shields, Minotaurs and whatnot, and boss damage, and 21% Delirium for ad clear and all the arc shields that we have to deal with. So those are the weapons. As far as our armor stats, the most important one is that we had a tier 9 strength build. We did have a tier 10 strength build, but the reason why I'm using tier 9 is because I had to opt for a year 1 piece over a year 2 in one of my slots. Doesn't make a big difference. I don't need my shoulder charge up every 2 kills, just every now and then I need it up. So handy that I had a high strength build in this. You could use something like Monte Carlo with this, but I didn't really want to use Monte Carlo in a run like this since it's an auto rifle. Just didn't want to use it. Okay. As far as our armor perks, so on our helmet we had a strength mod with fusion rifle ammo finder. Our gauntlets was a year 1 piece with fusion rifle scavenger and scout rifle loader. Chestplate had a strength mod on. Boots another strength mod with machine gun scavenger, and then our class armor had a strength mod with enhanced ashes to assets with special finisher if we needed to do that, to pair with the Telesto. So that's the loadout and everything. Okay, so with the run, so straight away we'll summon our Sparrow. Don't want to waste too much time. This is a pretty tight run for the 100k on Pyramidion. On Legend difficulty anyways, not Master, but on Legend difficulty is a little bit. But first of all we want to deal with the 4 goblins before we even approach or think about the anti-barrier, which we have straight away. We just want to deal with taking down all the goblins. Down this side first. You can see the anti-barriers can hit hard still. Okay, so once we're good on that, then we have to wait for our health regen. It's important that we don't let the anti-barrier hit snipers too many times, but then we go up and get the shoulder charge on that, and we're good to go. An easy one shot. So this will be happening with all the run. We'll be able to one shot all the champions, the overloads included as well. Even if they're rushing us, which you'll see. So we'll capture 1 plate first only, and then usually work on one side and then work on the next, rather than dealing with all of it at once. As the ads can hit quite hard because of that void burn. Okay, so once we're done on that, we're then going to work on the next anti-barrier. I like to come up here and get a good angle on them. And we can go for the... As you can see, the anti-barrier will probably be able to take me down well easily within 3 shots, so that's why Gotta make sure I have full health before I start rushing. Now we can capture the second plate. And now we won't have any more anti-barriers in this starting section. So just a bunch of goblins and 2 Minotaurs that'll come. The same here, I like to stand here since the ads kinda... This block gives you a lot of cover against the Minotaurs and all the ads, so I like to stand here to take them all out. Find it easiest. So let's do the ground. If they push us, we can take them out. That's where Fusion Rifle Scavenger could come in, so even though I've spammed a ton of Telesto there, that one break can give us a lot of ammo back. And we're good to go.
Ikora, Asher, we found a way in.
Keep us appraised of your progress, please. There's no way for
Like I
us to
said
know
earlier,
if
there's
busy
9
fighting
champions
or
in
if you
total in this one.
transcended this reality.
There is another anti-barrier snipe to come up, and then there's a couple overload. Well, there's a lot of overload Minotaurs after that. It is easy to actually miss one of the overload Minotaurs, which I'll get into when I get there, which is something I never realised myself. So I started doing runs this week. So now we're just gonna sort of deal with all the goblins on each plate. We don't want to be skipping this section really, because we want all the score that we can get, since it is a tight-ish run. For score at least. Okay, so the next section is where we're going to have the anti-barrier, which is down there. On Master I believe there's 2 here, but just 1 on the 950 difficulty. Take down the snipers and the goblins first, the one that we can take. Once we're good with that, rather than stay up here, I usually prefer to go down to the next platform and come behind here and sort of take out the ads first, and then we can deal with the champion, rather than trying to deal with the ads and the champion all at the same time. That's what will cause you wipes. That's why I prefer to sort of take them out one by one. Yes, we're done with that. Now we can then take down the anti-barrier. Same again. Make sure I approach with full health and then just charge up. What you'll find as well here, that's why I've kind of got special finisher on if I do need to use it, because the super is just not as important, only for specific parts of it I would say. It's more about us being able to have our melting point up often.
Pyramidion's resonant frequencies as you explore.
Okay, so this room can be quite deceiving, since it's only there's a lot of goblins to be fair, but if they do all teleport on you, if there's like 4 or 5, which they can, they teleport behind you or on top of you, they can melt you pretty quick. Okay. The first thing with this room is you want to start working on the 3 harpies that you can see. There's 2 right at the far back, but they won't wake up until the next phase of ads actually starts. Right now we just want to take out the goblins that are sort of pushing us. In this specific room there will only be 1 overload Minotaur that we have to actually kill, so it's good in that sense. At this minute I'm trying to sort of bait out the overload Minotaur, since he'll be spawning in. It goes different locations, it's not always the same, specifically in this room. Sometimes he'll stand up on the perch, sort of in front of me, you'll see soon. But sometimes he doesn't, it depends on where the void shielded Minotaurs stand. One thing we don't want to be doing is dealing with a Russian overload Minotaur while fighting too many goblins. So they're usually where he stands, on that perch, but once he sees you, will start to rush. He won't rush until he's sort of saw you. So what I'm trying to do is bait him out up top, so that we can take him out without getting hit too much. Since the harpies earlier that I mentioned have woke up as well, so they can hit you with their void attack. Just trying to, didn't want to really risk that. I'm getting hit too much. This is really where we want the Minotaur, up top right here, and we can just take him down. Once he's down, that's it. That's mainly, after that you might have a couple of Void Shield Minotaurs left, and then it's just a bunch of Harpies. Notice I haven't used much machine gun ammo, so since I didn't see many drop on the floor, so I'm not going to really use it too much. Finish off the remaining goblins, then we can go for the Harpies. And so now I'm going to kind of spray just to start using a bit of chain gun ammo. Take out all these shields. And that's it. And before, if you are doing your solo, always fill back on any ammo that you're sort of low on. There was no heavy drops for me, so I had to just kind of go with it, which my heavy's a little low stage. Okay, so now we're past the laser part. Now with this drop, I see people, everybody has their own little way of doing it, I've noticed, but I like to jump onto this block and then just jump off there. I never get caught out if I do that. That's the only reason why I do that. That's one way of doing it. So with this room, like all the other rooms, it's a systematic approach. You're dealing with sort of one thing at a time. That doesn't mean to say that we're trying to go too slow or anything. It's just dealing with things efficiently. So we want to take out the snipers first if we can, and then sort of start working on the harpies. There is one sniper to my left. We'll get now. Went into cover. He's annoying. What's interesting about this scout that I'm using is that we can break off the Vex heads without them going immune. They usually go immune, but you can, because it's a high impact frame, you can take off their head before they do their immune attack. Kind of funny. Okay, so now we're wanting to bait out the first Overload Minotaur in this room. There's 3 in total, and there is a way to actually skip one of them, which we don't want to be doing. You never want to be doing it because you want to get platinum every time. But it's so easy to skip it, and I never realised myself. We'll take out these 2 goblins. What I've been doing on previous runs is capturing that first plate as this ad spawn is happening. If you do that, you will only get 2 Overload Minotaurs in this room, which will prevent you from getting platinum, which is silly, but it's just how it goes. So just be aware to not pick up any plates. It's very important, unless you'll only kill 8 in total rather than 9. There's 9, so there's 3 in this room. This is the second one I'm doing now. So the second one I'm baiting him out, coming back a little bit. Got him, baiting him out. They can be awkward sometimes as they keep teleporting, so you can miss your shoulder charge on them. You just got to kind of time it and make sure you're airborne as well, of course. Okay, so now we'll just finish up the remainder of the ads. We're going to collect the top plate first, and then work from there. Just kind of waiting out my melee charges. I wanted to see if I could one-shot this Hydra that's going to be spawning now. Capture the second plate. And we can go ahead and do that. Okay, once we're done, there will also be another Overload Minotaur from this phase. So this is the Minotaur that I'm talking about. Is the one that you can skip if you capture the left plate like straight away as ads are spawning. If for some reason he won't spawn in, but If you do it this way, he won't. Right now, we're just kind of waiting our shoulder charge. In the meantime, we're clearing the rest of the room. By the time we've done that, we'll have a shoulder charge ready for him. Have it just about now. That's the best thing with these, just to kind of bait them out. And round corners seems to be the best way, since they'll kind of spam you as they're running towards you. But once they get so close, they'll stop spamming their void attack. And they'll be just, you know, running towards you. That's what you really want. You're gonna be careful, because like I say, they can like melt you pretty quick if you're not careful with them.
Brace yourself. I believe our Gensum scribe is genuine.
Okay, so on to the next to the last room. Not much to this particular room here. Just a couple of like 2 harpies, a couple of snipers and whatnot. So not a lot to this room. But the next room will be the pillar room, which can be the longest room of the whole run, I would say, just because of the amount of adds that spawn in. We also get our last overload Minotaurs, which for this particular run that I'm doing right now, they are the easiest ones to take by far. Which I'll explain why when we get there.
You should now find yourself staring into the inscrutable nostril of a slumbering machine. Proceed inside.
I will also be to be careful of those lasers, as I feel as though the modifier shocker affects them. The modifier shocker states on the goblins, but I've noticed that it seems to sort of buff the lasers. It's kind of weird. What we're going to do right now is take down the void shield of the Minotaur and then use our super here. It's just a good place to sort of clear everything quickly. Once we're dealt with that, we're going to work on the snipers, and then there'll be 2 Cyclopses spawn up. They are very important that we take them down straight away, as once you start to push up in the map, if you're not keeping an eye on one of them, they can just outright one-shot you with their void attack. This is where my scout will come on. I can just take them down from a distance. Take out both sides. Once we're dealt with that, we're going to take out the adds below us as well. For those that don't know the specifics about this room, because there is little things, like for example, when we're accessing the towers, you can do the quick summon ghost glitch where you just spam it quick, like that. So just you're getting hit by a lot of adds, you know, you can just quickly get your scan and retreat. Another thing is that once you pass a certain line, more adds will spawn, and that rule is for the bottom platform and the top. So even though there's an ad spawn right now, because I'm on the bottom platform, it's only relatable to where I am. So there's more ads spawning, which do happen on the bottom, but when we go to the top, there's also a certain sort of line, if you like, where the next sort of ads spawn in. You'll be able to see soon. So now we've finished with bottom, with no more ads on there. So when you get to around about here, sort of ads, next set of ads will spawn in. There wasn't a Minotaur that I didn't take down, but he was hiding too. I couldn't really get to him, so we'll Telesto him down, and then we want to sort of work on the right side tower first, just how I do it. So what I want to do first is take down the goblins around him, just in case my shoulder charge, when I do go for that, just in case it doesn't hit him and hits a goblin or something by accident. That's the reason for that. Before I approach that guy on the right, I want to take down a good amount of adds in the middle, so we're not getting hit by those. And I'll approach again with full health. Go for the shoulder charge. Now once we get 2 scans out of 4, that's when the Hydra will spawn in at the back. Which we do want to kill, of course, because Hydras are worth a lot of points. Once we've dealt with that, we're sort of backing off again, and then just killing all the goblins from a distance. We also just got our super as well, so we've got a super to burn, so I'm going to use that right now. I didn't use my melee on him, since we want to use our melee for the last Minotaur. I want it up and ready to go. So that's now all adds down, just need the Minotaur. This one's really easy, to be honest. The reason I forgot to mention why they're so easy is because even though they're overload Minotaurs, they won't rush you. They'll only rush you on that plate, which is weird, so they won't come to where I am now, for example. Whereas overload Minotaurs in any other sort of Nightfall, or even the section before, the Minotaur would rush. These two don't, which that's why it makes them really easy just to take down. Even if you're not doing a run like this, you could easily just nade it. Is an Argies, boom, they're done, or whatever you, or however you're taking them out.
What pit? There is no pit in the Pyramidion.
So our ammo economy is good, so
Here's the lake now.
that's always good. I want full ammo for everything. I'm just going to take out these goblins for more score. We're on 98k now. We've got an extra 2 minutes of a high score to get, and then after that it'll have, of course, the point scoring. And then it's the boss fight. The boss fight, to be honest, is probably easier than
Some kind of
the full run. The
interdimensional
boss fight's
terminal.
pretty, as long as you're kind of aware of his AI and what he's going to do when he does, because his void attack melts, his sniping, it can hit you hard, especially if you're a lower light than me. First off, we're going to do a shoulder charge, since it just sends him straight away, which that's what we really wanted. We don't want to be wasting too much time right now, since we want to gain as much score within this sort of minute to minute and a half as much as we can. We're going to come to the next to the plate. We're not going to step on the plate, as the boss will be more likely to do his void attack. We're going to take down the ads first, then do a barricade. Now it's important, this is the thing that people might not know, but if you go into cover, that increases the chances of him doing his void attack, and if you sit in the void attack too long, with void burn being on, you just get melted really quick. So there's a way to not cheese him, but there's a way to manipulate his AI, so to speak. Which you'll see more of on the next couple of plates. So we're specifically standing here just to sort of take out the ads from a distance, but sometimes there can be a pain in being covered for a long time. So if that's the case, you can push over. Just make sure you're aware of when the boss is sniping, when he's not. Okay, so now all the ads are down. Same again, we can do a barricade. Now, because he's seeing us, he's not going to do his void attack. It's only when we go into cover that he'll sort of do that. Now we're going to go over to this point for damage. There is a reason for that. Mainly because the waller I'm behind has more defense against his void attack. Whereas some of the other walls, the void attack goes through. It's sort of a weird thing. So we're going to do our DPS with Telesto. Try and send him as quickly as possible. And then he'll spawn directly behind us. That's another reason why I'm here, is because this wall is another wall that I'm going to use for the next play section. I don't really like to go over there, since he's generally going to do his void attack, and he's just done his void attack there, but with this wall it's not a problem. So I'm waiting for this Minotaur to sort of rush me, and then we can use Telesto to take him down. Ammo's really important at the end of this fight. It's the only time when it's really, really important, and important that I have a lot of Telesto ammo, which fortunately I got some good drops. Since we're using Delirium, Delirium is awful for DPS, but it's not used for DPS. And obviously we've got a scout rifle on, so our only form of damage. We're using Telesto for the Minotaurs and whatnot. That phase is really dangerous if you're on the other side, so like I say, same again, I want to take it from distance. Now we're going to go for ammo, which notice there's some ammo over here. Take that. There was a couple more ads that were in hiding, so we can take those down. And then we're good to go. Waiting for health regen, and then we have to take this last goblin now. what's going to happen here is that we want to try to get a damage skip on this boss so that he does not spawn in the next set of ads, which will be harpies and whatnot. And the only way to sort of do that is to not do so much damage up until this point, and then to put in as much damage as you can. So a way of doing this is, if you come to the this section here, you can get him to get stuck in sort of a stomp animation, and if that happens, it enables you to get more damage on you. What happened to me here though is he went earlier than what he usually does for whatever reason. So I was kind of behind on damage than usual, but still doing enough damage to sort of skip the damage phase. To skip the ad phase, should I say. So now he's went directly to middle. I want to keep Telesto behind this wall, try and get as much damage in as we can. And then once the next ad phase comes in, we're going to run up to him and do our melting point, and then super. And then finish him. And obviously that was intentional to sort of fall off the map as we complete it. But anyways, that was the 100k solo. Like I say, this can be done without modifiers on all three subclasses, just in their own different ways. But hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.